Hey everyone, welcome to the Sanctum. This is AL. So I wanted to go over The Good Tarot by Collette Baron-Reid. As you probably have noticed, I am a very big fan of Colette's. I am, like, really. I am a huge fan of Colette's. The reason why I am a fan of hers is the fact that she has a way of touching the soul when it comes to oracle cards, to being able for you to access your intuitive side. So when I saw she had this tarot deck, I had been wanting it for a while. Hadn't really considered how I was going to work this deck into my skills, and then realized that this deck is probably going to be my writing reflection deck. Yeah, I use tarot to write. It just helps me story build, helps me to know if I'm on the right track, things of that nature. So it does come with a book. The book is amazing. It's actually one of her smaller books, sort of, kind of. The nice thing is the information, the pictures are not colored, but the information on each deck for each card is very small and intimate. It's very to the point. You will find an information and a reading that just kind of really speaks to you, to the heart. And I think that's one reason why I actually liked this deck. Is not necessarily because I needed to have that info, although it does help. It helps a lot, especially when I'm writing. But the cards themselves are, well, let me show you. It's easier for me to show you, and you can see what I'm talking about. This is the Fool. I'm sorry about the glare. I've been trying to stem that off for a little bit. This is the Magician. I love that look. The High Priestess. She reminds me of Tilda Swanson. I love it. The Empress. The Emperor. So unique how that look is. The Hierophant. Now, out of all the Hierophants I've ever seen out of many, many, many decks, this Hierophant is probably the one that I rock on the most. I look at this Hierophant and I go, yeah, can I have that as a poster or a frame print? Thank you. Thank you very much. Eventually that's what I would love to do, is I would love to have like 78 prints of different cards that over the years that I have loved the best. Oracles or even whatever, oracle cards or whatnot for decorating purposes, because some of them are so stunning. There's some of Benabel's Spirit Keeper Tarot I would kill to get them as a print. Love. The Chariot. Let's get into, the Ace of Air. It's a Pegasus. I love it. And I love how the fact that they change into a different tone. The Two of Air. The Three of Air. The Four of Air. The Three of Fire. This is probably one of my favorite fire cards too, by the way. I just love that look. That otherworldly, steampunky yet fantasy look in regards to it. Four of Fire. I have actually cast the Shingo out. He is trying to get back in. The Six of Fire. The Seven of Fire. A Unicorn. Oh my god, I love that card. Eight of Fire. It's a panda! And I love pandas. So, and then you have the Ace of Wands. And it's so cool as the wands are water, which is just like cool in itself. For the Ace of Water, so you have the Two of Water, and I love it because the color is so different from the air one, but they're just similar enough that you can tell how all the cards interrelate. Four of Water with a mermaid. Love it. The Six of Water, which is so different. It's so pretty. Seven of Water. Here we go. Page of Water. Messenger of Water. Now the messengers are actually the knights. So that's what's something that's a little bit different in this deck. Ace of Earth. Four of Earth. Five of Earth. The Six of Earth. And you'll see the little Celtic pentacle kind of look on it, which is awesome. Seven of Earth. Nine of Earth. Messenger of Earth. The Queen of Earth. Oh, this is stunning. Reminds me of Angela Bassett. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. So, as you can see just from the pictures, they just kind of like stimulate your creativity. My other life, my other pen name, I write fantasy, romance, stuff like that, in different genres. And I also started writing a long time ago, fantasy novels, sci-fi, had started a mystery and had stopped due to circumstances beyond my control. Beyond my control. It's called a breakdown. But at the same time, what was interesting is the fact that I had always used an RWS deck for helping me write. And the RWS deck is actually really pretty, and each picture of the deck has a scene that is kind of inspiring, especially if you ever read, there's a book by Tally Goodwin and Marcus Smith, I think it is. I'm actually in the middle of reading it, and I should, and it's all about the tarot, and A.E. Smith, A.E. Waite, and about Pamela Coleman Smith and how she created the deck and the pictures and the little meanings and the history of where each of those pictures came from, within the suits. And I realized while I was reading the book, which gave me greater insight into the deck itself, it also made me realize that that deck was not really the deck for me for writing. And I was looking for a deck to put as my writing deck. And when I got this deck, it's called the Good Tarot because there is no necessary reverse. But some cards are naturally more protection oriented anyway, which is the way Collette describes cautionary measures. So yeah, so let's take a look, and we're going to basically read the deck, figure out what's coming up. Alright, Messenger of Earth, Page of Water, Messenger of Fire. So obviously I love you all. No. So let's take a look, see what has to be said. And at the same time, too, think about what it means for us. And the nice, cool thing about the deck, just so you know, is that she includes different readings that was done as an idea of what to expect when you use the deck. Messenger of the Earth says, I am in the flow, committed to co-creating with spirit effectively and efficiently. I do my best to never leave a job half done. I am dedicated and determined, knowing my efforts will pay off. Hardworking, proceeding with integrity, perseverance, and grit, prudent and careful efforts, thoroughness, industrious, stamina, and dedication. The Page of Water. And the Page of Water is ever so much fun and enjoyable. I can say that because I have had to deal with the Page of Water before. Now, the Page of Water is a unique card for me because it's all about movement. So it's about open-heartedness, childlike innocence, curiosity, beginning of intimacy in relationships, playfulness, cheerful optimism. I open my heart fully, allowing myself to feel childlike wonder and innocence. All adventures lead me where I need to go. Love awaits. Life is a delightful dance, and I am here to frolic and play. I am ready with a big smile, and I have on my dancing shoes. So, like I said, me and the Page, we've had words. The Messenger of Fire is all about determination for a new adventure, innovation, independent creative action, spirited, headstrong. I have an unstoppable spirit and can co-create all that I desire. Surrounded by spirit, illumined with the wisdom that rises up within me, I set forth on a path to innovate. I trust in my vision and I act accordingly, remaining true to what I most value and desire, which will manifest in many forms. So that's what we're looking at. We're looking at the idea of that with childlike innocence, with stepping in happiness and delight with our eyes wide open and open to the idea of new relationships, new concepts of being able to be forward. We're going to take those first steps into new heights of our relationships. We are willing to do that. We're determined. We are going to do what we're going to do. We're going to be unstoppable. Not bad for a coming year. But we're also going to be open and working in harmony. We're going to listen to our voices inside. We're going to be grounded and fully aware of what we do. So it's a good reading. And this is why I like the deck. I love the ombre effect that they do. It gives you like the old to the new. Like I said, this deck doesn't have a reverse. It doesn't have anything like that. It is actually the good tarot. It gives you what you need to know, how to co-create using spirit. It is a deck worth having. If you don't like doing reversals, this deck is for you. And I know a lot of people who don't like reading reversals when it comes to tarot. A lot more often than I used to notice. Which to me, reversals are nothing more than protections. So it doesn't bother me as much. But using it for creativity, using it in a manner for creative endeavors, for when you're working with somebody doing readings for people who are creatives, this deck is amazing. So yes, consider giving it a whirl. It's definitely a 9 out of 10. It is beautiful. It is exciting. It is amazing. It's definitely one of Colette's best. I'm actually looking forward to her new ones coming up next year. She has a crystal deck and a goddess deck coming up. I'm so freaking excited about it. I'm like, I need those decks right now. I do. Give it to me, give it to me, give it to me now. I feel like one of those gifts, like with Stephen Colbert. Give it to me now, give it to me. So, yeah. So I have like the Woto deck. I have quite a few of hers. including the Mystical Shaman deck, which I just did a review on, which is amazing. So definitely collect it, get it, work it. And I mean it seriously, work it. I pick a card every day out of this deck, especially when I'm working on writing or I'm working on doing, if I'm getting ready to do a bunch of readings. It invokes my creativity. So definitely give it a whirl. Until next time, Bendithian.